Hey everybody, welcome back to the Adobe's Daily Creative Challenge. This is the XD Daily Creative Challenge, and I'm your host, Jesse Showalter. There's lots of people in the chat already talking about my hair, which I appreciate all your votes of confidence for my hair. But I'm really excited. This is day 8. This is day 8 of the Daily Creative Challenge, second to last day. Tomorrow's the last one. I want to say hi to some people in the chat. Ryan, Dave, Julia, got Thomas and Fabian and Tim. Lots of people in the chat. Tell me where you're coming from and tell me what is your favorite breakfast treat. Let's talk about that in the chat a little bit, because depending on where you are, you may have just had some breakfast. So let me hear those in the chat. I'm really excited. Again, yeah, we're on day 8. Tomorrow's going to be the last day, and we have been in the XD Daily Creative Challenge focusing on a series of challenges that revolve around health and fitness and wellness and exercise and food and stuff like that. So really excited about that. Let's jump over to my screen so you can see. If you don't know much about the Daily Creative Challenge, you can go to behance.net/challenges/XD. And somebody said Reese's Puff cereal. Come on. That's probably one of the best breakfast treats because it's kind of cereal, but it's really more Reese's. Can we all agree on that? It's pretty good. Okay, so yeah, you're gonna go to this URL, sign up for the challenge, and there's 4 parts to it. Part number 1, each day you're gonna receive a challenge. If you scroll down, you can see each of the challenges we've done so far. If you're late to the game, if you're just coming in, that's okay. You can do as many of these challenges as you want, starting with today's, which is right here. We're gonna be creating an onboarding flow for a mobile app that has to do with health and fitness. And then we're going to be doing some sharing stuff inside of Adobe XD. You can get the starting file right here. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to go along with me, and then you're going to want to make sure that you chat in the live chat right here so people like Alok can tell us about pancakes being their favorite treat, or coffee. Who's on board with coffee being the best breakfast treat? Well, you can be in this live chat, but also join the Discord channel that we have. It's the XD Discord server. There's over 30,000 creatives. Post your work, get encouragement, feedback, critique, and just awesome community with rad people. Thanks, Adobe, for making such a rad place for us all to be. But here is where you can also post your work that you do in these challenges. And we have some awesome work right here from the previous day. We did, what did we do? Like a calendar and fitness planning kind of scheduler app. So let's pull up a couple of these and see. Whoa, here we go. Let's get a couple more out here. Oh, this looks like a good one. And why not? I think there was another one that had to do with yesterday's challenge. These are really, really cool. Oh, somebody did a desktop one. We got to see it. All right, challenge number 7. This one's looking really, really cool. Love the colors. They did a little bit of a different take on it. Bright colors, calendar smaller with a bigger today widget. I like this. This is really, really nice, really fun. This is our desktop one by Marina Zago. And I love this kind of like dark interface where the elements or like the actual events are lifted off the page. I just flicked my microphone a little bit there. Sorry about that. But that is a really, really cool one as well. I love the presentation. And then you can also, let's go back to our little tracking what we do. You're going to watch our daily live show and then post your work up, making sure you use that hashtag XDDailyChallenge. And so when you do that search inside of Behance, you'll be able to find all of your amazing creations. So that's pretty much it. All right. Somebody said potato pancakes. Ooh, that's spicy. Hummus in the morning. I like that. Let's do a little hummus in the morning. Who out there, speaking of treats, has had chocolate hummus? Pretty excellent. I'm just saying. All right, well, we're going to jump right into it. We're going to kick over to that starting file. Here's our starting file. Like I said, we're doing onboarding for some sort of app that has to do with health and fitness. And we want to focus on sharing this work out of Adobe XD. Tomorrow, I think we're going to be focusing a little bit on developer handoff, and this is going to be part of it. But for now, we're going to talk about sharing. We've got some examples down here and some different resources you might need, and we have a starting artboard. Your artboard might be a little bit different, but pretty much the same thing. XD, let's see, Dave says Adobe XD is a game changer right now. I agree. I'm pretty excited about where XD is and where it's going, and the integration and the libraries and the sharing and the co-editing that we did yesterday. Really, really fun. Okay, we're gonna jump right in because we got limited amount of time to get some design work done. So in onboarding, really quickly, like 20 seconds, what's an onboarding? Onboarding is that flow of an application where a user opens it up for the very first time and they get a couple screens kind of telling them what it's about. And that doesn't sound very exciting, but every app has them because you want to know what this whole deal is about. Give you a little bit of insight. And then if we have time, we might even put a little login screen or sign up screen at the end of this thing. So let's get started. I think this, I was really inspired by one of our inspirations. And so I went and found some similar black and white images. I was really digging it. We haven't done anything like that. Everything's been fairly colorful. So I have some images that are pretty black and white, pretty intense, pretty cool. So I figured we'd grab a couple of these. So let's start with one of these and drag it in. And usually I would probably like make a mask, but I think, well, maybe we'll make a mask. Let's do it. Let's make a shape here, and let's bring our element nice and big, something like that. I like this portion. I'm just kind of framing it up. How does that look? I think it looks pretty good. Let's take our rectangle, put it above, and we have both elements selected, and we'll mask it, and now we have a nice background right there. So pretty good. I know, black and white, right? Here's another thing we haven't done. What color should we use? I'll tell you what color we're using. We're going to use something that's a little bit more on the passionate side that I think goes really well with black and white. Everybody guess right now in the live chat what color you think I'm about to use. And while you do that, I'll start dragging out some text and you guys can guess the color we're about to get down with. So here, let's do some text in here, and we'll say fitness app. Let's make that white text, and let's just bring up the size of this text. What color do we think we're doing here? I found this photo to answer one of the questions. I found this color, or excuse me, this photo. I think it came from Unsplash, which is a free stock photography site. Some people are saying orange, some people are saying blue. We've done a little bit of orange, we've done a little bit of blue. So guess what? Julia Clayton is correct, because we're going red today, because red just has that cool passionate vibe, but we don't want to go like pure red. Let's just zoom in here. Let's talk about reds for a second, because I love the color red. I'm looking for a little bit more of like a salmony red. So we're going to take our color palette up here to the top here and just down a little bit. So it's like almost pink. It's like this nice pinkish red. I like that red a lot. I think that has just like a little bit of passion, a little bit of fire and intensity in it, and it goes well with these black and white images. So let's just let's see if we can't frame our image better. Maybe this is better. Maybe this is better. The shot of the back here. I think a little bit. Yeah, I think that. Nah, we don't want to miss her head. Let's go back over the other way. Now I'm just art directing and being nitpicky, but that's okay. Another thing we're probably going to want to do is we're going to need another rectangle inside of this thing. And why don't we just see how I just copied and pasted another rectangle inside of that mask group. Now I can do an overlay. I'll turn the border off. I'll turn this to black. And then what I'm basically doing is just adding changing the transparency. So now we have like the text can pop off the screen a little bit more. Somebody said no to red. You don't like the red? It's Peloton red. Ooh, I wasn't even thinking of that, I promise, okay? So let's see. We have Montserrat. Let's go to something a little bit more fitnessy. I'm going to use Futura, or maybe I'll use Roboto. I love typography. Isn't typography fun? Everything just gives it like so much there's so much character in it. I think Roboto kind of is like a little bit more blocky, and it could be like a little bit more fitness related. So let's just take this down. It doesn't have to be so big. And this rectangle at the top also doesn't have to be so big. Okay, here we go. Notice how we have like this nice dark area at the bottom, and this is where our text is going to go. So let's pull down another copy of our text, and let's do this. Let's take our headline to be an even 40. Who out there, like when you're doing design work, is afraid of odd numbers? Like things being odd numbers of pixels away. If it's 9 pixels, you like to just get it up there to 10. Or if it's 39 pixel like size font, you just jump it to 40. That's me. Maybe it's like a little OCD, I don't know, but that's me. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's talk typographic scale really quick, because I'm always a big fan of that. We're gonna drag down a piece of typography. We're gonna go do some math inside of our inspector panel for our text. Let's just divide it by 2. and we're going to drop down 2 weights to give it some contrast between the 2 pieces of text. So from bold to medium down to regular. And now we have a little bit of typographic scale. This makes sense. Not quite the golden ratio, but just, you know, halving it by 2. That works for me. I don't know. You guys into the golden ratio, or you guys just use different types of typographic scales? Let me know in the chat. That'd be awesome. Okay. Let's bring this down and let's write something like, what does this app do? I don't know. Track your workouts and challenge your friends to hardcore competition. And thank you again, Adobe XD, for the spell check, which fixed all of that for me because I'm so bad at it. And for some reason, my line height is massive, so that's why you can't see the rest of the text. So let's bring that down, and let's see, friends for hardcore fun. There we go. There is just a little bit of like our little value proposition that we have there. And then right underneath it, now we could play with this. Let's group this together and decide, do we want that up, down at the bottom? Maybe just a little further up would be good. So far, so good. Tim says, unless it's like 5 pixels, 5 is an honorary even number. I feel like that's true. Should we let 5 in as an even number? I feel like most designers would say that. Hey, multiples of 5 or 10, we're happy with you. That's okay. We like that. Let's get our button going here. So here's what we're going to do. Let's take this, take our red, add it right there, drag that out. We don't need it. And we'll get our rectangle tool, and let's just drag a version of this tool or this rectangle out. I'm going to go rounded, take the border off, fill it with our red. So far, so good. That's a really tall button. So let's just shrink that button down a little bit. Woo! Let's go like that. And then we're going to take our text, zoom in to our button, and just paste it, Command or Control V. Take this down. It doesn't need to be so big. And what's a generic like button call to action for onboarding? Maybe like start now. It's pretty generic, isn't it? Okay. That's okay though, because we're doing concept work and we get to do whatever we want when we do concept work. So let's press Command or Control K, make a component, and let's just put our padding. I feel like that's the new hotness, the new rule of thumb. Now that we have this like content aware layout inside of XD, I feel like that's what we need to do always. Because look, even, ew, how cool is that? I shrink the button down, or the text down, and the button shrinks with it. Come on, for the win, XD. Thank you. Okay, so that's pretty good. Let's put that right there, and let's make also some pagination. So we're going to hit E for ellipse and drag a little white ellipse out. Okay, let's just zoom in so we can see what we're doing. And we're going to space that. Why did we even do that? Why didn't we just press Command or Control R and repeat grid? You know why? Actually, I know why. Because we're going to do some animating stuff, some auto animate stuff. And we can't go out like that. We can't have it be. So let's just put that in the middle. Let's take one of these and let's make it our red because we're active. I know we're using that active color like a lot, but let's just call this one Page. We call this one Button. And we call this one, whoops, Text. Okay, and let's zoom out, and we have our thing. All right, so we got a few elements over in our layers panel, not too much, a button, a pagination, some text, and our background. Now, we are gonna do something we haven't done so far in our challenges, which is drag gestures, because they're pretty spicy, they're pretty amazing. Why wouldn't we do that? So let's drag or let's just press Command C, Command V, or Command or Control for you PC users out there, which is totes good for me. And let's get in here. We're going to, you know, it would be fun actually. I've seen some paginations do this recently where there is the active state, and the active state's always there, and it just moves from dot to dot. So it goes like this, whoop, when it moves over. So I've seen some of those. Let's do one of those. Those are kind of fun. There's like a little magic involved in it, all right? So now we just move our active state over, and let's change this text. This text should say daily check-ins. And let's just put something right here like check-in with friends and see who is on the leaderboard. Right? I love how we're just like making features up. I just love that so much. Okay, now here's what we want to do. We want to say, let's call this one over here in our first board BG1, because we know we're going to animate this thing, right? Okay, We're going to come back in, paste it as it's named BG1, but let's duplicate it. Okay, I'm just going to press my Command or Control bracket keys to move it back. And let's call this new one BG2. Okay, so we've moved in, we have BG2. Why did I do that? Because I'm going to come in here and get this, and I'm going to replace it with this shot right here of some hardcore pull-ups that are happening. Okay, so that, oh, I messed up. That was our transparency, wasn't it? Okay, let's try this again. Whew, love it when I mess up. It's the reality. You're gonna mess up. Okay, so now we have our correct rectangle selected, I think. And yeah, still no. Okay, I did it wrong again. Let's do this. Let's move this behind. Okay. I'm gonna delete that because now we should just have our image. This should work. It's not working. So we're going to just recreate the whole thing because for some reason, it's like one of those things. It's one of those days I'm doing something wrong. Somebody out there could tell me what I'm doing wrong and that'd be fine with me. So I know what we'll do. Let's just drag this thing in. We have our image. Okay, let's shrink our image down. Let's cut it out of the way and let's pop it in here. And then maybe we can there's the image. Get that image out of there. That's what I was doing wrong. I was putting it in the rectangle, in like the masked rectangle. Why did nobody help me? That's okay. I forgive you guys. Okay, so let's see. Somebody was saying, let me see. Frankie Say was saying we need keyframe animation for states. Maybe, but there's something about that just the auto animate the ease of it. That's just so nice. I don't know if I need keyframe stuff. I can always go into Adobe After Effects and do like some hardcore keyframe stuff, but I don't know if I want to. So let's take, we're going to call this BG2. Let's come over here and paste BG2 in to our very first screen, and we'll just bring the transparency, excuse me. And let's do the same thing over here with BG1. Bring it over here and bring its transparency down. Okay, now we should see some similar, you know what though? Let's take this is our text 2. We're going to do all this, right? And text 1. Let's take text 1 and paste it over on text 2's artboard, slide it over to the side, bring the transparency down. And we're doing the same thing over here. Paste it in here, bring it over to the side, transparency down. Now, when we do our prototyping, we're going to hit there. We're going to do the entire artboard, and we're going to do a drag gesture. So you drag anywhere on the artboard, and we're going to get this auto animate happening to onboarding 1.1. And let's just do the same thing back. It remembers those settings for us. And should we do some easing? We should. Let's try snap. I'm big on the snapping easing lately. I don't know if that's going to work actually, but let's try it. So we're going to bring it up and we're going to drag over just like that. Okay. Boom. Drag back and forth. And did we see our little pagination down there happen? That was pretty good. I think one thing that's happening is because both of these layers are fading in and out, we're getting that white kind of like look, kind of that blank white state. So what we'd want to do is go back to our design tab, and we'd want to add, actually, you know what we want to do? Really easy. Let's make this really easy. Make the fill black of the entire artboard. I was going to add a rectangle. This is way easier. Now, when we're sliding, we don't get that white blinking phase in between. It's just really clean like that, okay? And, you know, the easing, is it working? I don't know, but it looks all right to me. So let's do one more really, really quickly, just like this. And we will take, we got to copy and paste. We're going to call this text 3. Okay, and text 1 doesn't even need to be there anymore. Neither does background 1. We've totally forgotten about it at this point. But we're going to create text 3, which text 3 should say what? Text 3 should say daily check-ins. What's another thing you do in fitness? Okay, how about we just put measure success like that, okay? So text 2 will have, excuse me. We just want to grab text 2. It will have slid out to the left-hand side and opacity down, and we're going to measure success. Let's leave that text there for now because we don't really care too much. Move our pagination over, and let's bring in another image. Okay, that one's pretty cool. That one's pretty cool. Let's bring in this this dude who's cranking some weights right now. Okay, we're just going to X it out. That means to cut it out of that place. Go in here, find the image, paste it above, delete the other one, something like that. Okay, and we're just now framing the image how we like it. Maybe something like that. That's pretty cool. So measure success, and we would have wanted to make sure that BG2, we're going to call this BG3, and we got to make sure that BG2 is still in there. So BG2 will go down below. The layers really, really matter when you're doing auto animate between things like this. So now we go back to prototype, and we're going to take this artboard. We're going to drag this way, not timed. Ooh, no, no, no. We don't want that. We want, here we go. Grab anything on the artboard, drag auto animate to this one. Okay, so far so good. Let's start at the beginning. Let's prototype it and see. We're dragging over. Pretty good. Everything's changing. Something happened. Something happened that we don't like. What happened? I don't know. Let's delete that prototype and see. It should be the entire artboard, right? Over. Not time. Not tap. Grab the element there. Bring it over. Drag. That should work. Should. Let's try it. Drag and drag. For some reason, it's not working now. It might be because we have a separate thing happening right here. So let's delete that one. And let's delete that one. Grab the whole artboard and just see if we can get it. There we go, drag. So we have that single drag state. Okay, so let's start back over here on our first artboard, press play, and let's see if we can get this thing to work. Drag over. Drag over. Pretty good. I like it. That was a lot of fun. Okay, now we don't have too much time left, so we got to kick over and start doing our sharing. So let's drop over to our share tab here, and let's create some links to get these out and let people see them. So if you haven't seen the share screen yet, this is what it looks like. We have our whole prototype that's happening here, and we can create a new link. We already have one link created, but we want to create a new link called DCC Day 8 Onboarding. And what do we want this to do? So let's zoom in so you can see these options. We can either have it be a design review, so we can get feedback on these designs, development, share it for prototype with our developers, presentation, user testing, or customize. So let's just do design review for now. We'll zoom out of this. We'll create that link. Okay, and so Adobe XD is going to go ahead and create our link, and we'll be able to click on it as soon as it is done. There it is. So I'm going to hit the link copied, and there it is. It's opening up in my browser. So if you didn't know this is how you get the links and share the links, this is exactly what's happening. And look, it has the same animation inside of it. Everything's working really good. We can go back to home. We can leave feedback. This is made for design review, right? But let's say I want a new link. Okay, I'm going to create a new link, and I'll name this for dev, and we're probably going to talk about this more tomorrow, but let's go to a development link with downloadable assets, exportable for iOS, and it requires a password. We could do that, or we could just create this link. This is now going to create our development area where developers can go in and access, measure, and do all that kind of fun stuff, so they have direct access to the project. And once I update all of my information in my file, I can just update that link so everything is refreshed. It's really, really nice. It's a nice flow. So let's see, how's everyone doing in the chat? We've following along? We're following along? Oh, it's right. We should have added a skip button, Joe Dorgu says. That's a good idea. A skip button would have been good. It could also be the start now. A lot of times in onboardings, that'll skip the entire onboarding flow and just take you right in there. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. All right. We're just about 100% there. Let's hit our link and open it up. And now we're going to see we have a totally different presentation of this. So this is the original one. The second one is going to be for dev. So it's opened up the new specs mode. So we can hit that. And now we have access to all the elements. And so it gives us some information. Hold down shift to view all hotspots. Shift click on hotspots to navigate between scenes, right? But look, we can click on elements and get the all the different measurements and all that kind of stuff. If we click off, we have access to all these assets, the colors, the typography, and we get some information on the interactions. We're going to talk more about this tomorrow because we're going to be talking about handoff for developers. That's just like a little bit of insight. For now, let's go back and look at a few more shots inside of our inside of the XD Discord server. So let's see, we got a nice How's this animation working? This one's looking pretty good. Nice plus. Ooh, they even did that little button tilt on there that we did yesterday. I like the overall theme. I like the colors. I like that the calendar's a little bit more subdued with that like light kind of blue color. Look at the little bell animation. What? Come on, get it. That's exciting. I like that one. So that one was by Ryan Chase, who's in the chat. Thanks, Ryan, for submitting. That's a good one. We like it. Here's another one. I think we already looked at this one on a previous date. Ooh, this one looks like a cool one. Let's jump out to Behance. We got like 45 seconds left before we end our stream. Ooh, look at the animation. This person, who did this? Frankie Say is crushing it. They're doing the desktop version, and they're bringing a lot of things from the challenges together, and they're animating back and forth between all of the different things. This is really good. Nice. Good job, Frankie. You are crushing it. Well, that's going to about wrap us up for day 8 of the XD Daily Creative Challenge. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. We're going to be back tomorrow at the same time to finish up the final day. I know, sad, final day of our stream. But I'm just excited to have been here with you and see all of your work. I'll be in the Discord chat after this for about half an hour. I'd love to talk with you, chat with you, give you feedback on your work. We'll see you then.